Mom, what's with all the notifications? Did something happen? Did you get in an accident? Did Dad collapse? I'm so sorry, I haven't been checking my phone at all today.
It's nothing. Now quit your over-dramatic whining. Me and you need to talk, young man. I didn't raise my son to be a coward, so you get your butt to my house right now and face the music.
Huh? Wait a sec. Where did that come from all of a sudden?
All of a sudden? Are you delusional? Why does it always have to be like this with you? When will you learn to give it a rest? You pawn your daughter off on me every day. What the hell do you think you're playing at? Not only that, but you actually had the nerve to leave her out on my front porch when I didn't answer the door today? What would you have done if something happened to her? What if she wandered off and got into an accident, or worse, abducted by some pervert? She's only 2 years old, you heartless monster. You've barely been a dad for 2 years, but you never work and you spend all your time drinking and gambling. As if that wasn't bad enough, you pester your poor wife for money so that you can go and blow it all at that damn casino. Have you no shame? You're a disgrace. Do you have any idea how embarrassing this is for me? To know that my son is a leeching waste of space with a gambling addiction?
Whoa, what the hell? Hold on for just 1 second, Mom. What the hell are you talking about? I have literally no idea what anything you just said means. Who's looking after who?
Do not play dumb with me, boy. I won't have it anymore. I am obviously talking about you dumping little Bethany on me every day. I kept my mouth shut up until now because your wife Nora asked me not to say anything. But I can't take it anymore. I am stressed beyond my wits' end, and I won't tolerate your behavior for a second longer. This needs to end now. First you lose your job and don't tell me about it, and now you spend all day, every day at a casino spending your wife's hard-earned money. Do you have any idea how hard she works at her part-time job to earn that money? It's bad enough that she has to work all while raising a little girl. The last thing she needs is you throwing her money down the drain. Nora has no choice but to leave Bethany with me at my house so she can actually go to work. You are a disgrace and should be ashamed of yourself. You call yourself a man? A father? How can you even sleep at night? Do you have any idea how your despicable, selfish behavior is making your daughter feel? Aren't you worried about the impact it could have on her development?
No, seriously, can you just slow down? I'm not kidding. I genuinely don't have any idea what you're talking about. Look, my daughter's here with me at the office.
Huh? What are you talking about? That's not possible.
No, that's my line. Of course it's possible. I brought her with me this morning. Look, she's playing in the company kindergarten as we speak.
The company kindergarten? I've never heard of anything like that before.
Sure. Haven't you seen it in the news lately? About the efforts to make child raising easier for parents who work? Well, a lot of the more progressive companies have started initiatives to provide kindergartens and childcare facilities at work. Fortunately, it just so happens that I work for one of the most progressive companies in America. They're spearheading the movement and were the first company to introduce fully equipped kindergartens with study materials, play areas, and trained teachers. She first started with the settle-in sessions about half a year ago. She's more or less used to it now, already has a bunch of friends. It's really handy having her with me in the company HQ like this. It means I can go check on her during my breaks, and I never have to go far to pick her up when it's home time. She spends the whole day here while I do my job 2 floors down. So when you say you've been looking after my daughter, I'm not exactly sure what you mean. And I'm especially stumped on all this stuff about me quitting my job to drink and gamble with money I pestered out of Nora. I've literally never set foot in a casino in my life. I hardly ever drink.
Huh? What the hell? How can that be? You mean Bethany's with you now? Then who's this girl I'm looking after?
You tell me. Well, I can assure you I have a job and I work almost every day. I don't even drink, for crying out loud, but you're making it sound like I'm some kind of alcoholic. I bring Bethany to work with me every day.
So what the hell's going on? What was all that stuff Nora told me?
Yeah, I'd like to know what's going on too. How about you explain to me from the beginning?
Right, okay. Well, it all started about 3 months ago. I got a message from Nora out of the blue. Hey, Marjorie, how's it going? Is now a good time to talk? Oh, hey there, Nora. It's been a while. I'm doing great, thanks. How are you and little Bethany doing? Oh, that lazy good-for-nothing son of mine never tells me anything. Me and Bethany are doing just great, thanks. I'm really sorry we couldn't show our faces for your birthday or Christmas this year. Oh, it's fine. Oh, don't worry about it. You're so busy you must be constantly rushed off your feet, right? I don't expect you to go out of your way to see me, dear. It's fine. I'm happy if you just update me with the occasional message every now and then. It's not like you're super far away, is it? I'm sure you'll stop by and pay me a visit when things calm down for you, but there's no rush, really. Oh, forgive me, I'm rambling. Did you want something? Yes, actually. I was hoping you could do me a little favor. A favor? Would you mind watching Bethany for a little while for me tomorrow? I just need you to watch her for half a day. Huh? Oh, you want me to watch Bethany? Oh, sure. I mean, I guess it's not a problem. Oh, did something happen? Oh, this is very sudden. Well, Marjorie, the thing is, I found a part-time job recently. Or at least, I think I might be in with a good shot of getting it. I have my interview tomorrow. Huh? A part-time job? Last I heard, you were struggling to find a kindergarten for Bethany. I thought you were going to carry on being a stay-at-home housewife until you found something. Yeah, about that. There were some circumstances. Listen, I'm not sure what the best way to tell you this is, so I'm just gonna come straight out with it. It's about Craig. His company did a restructure and he lost his job. What? Craig lost his job? Apparently they did a big personnel cut and he didn't make it. But it's fine, don't worry. He said he's gonna work hard and find something else as soon as he possibly can. I'm sure he'll have something else lined up in no time. Really? Wow, I must say I can't believe it. Why didn't he tell me himself? Maybe I could have found him something through one of our relatives. To tell you the truth, I have a sneaking suspicion he found being indirectly fired a little too embarrassing to tell his mom about. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you, Craig can be very prideful, not to mention his stubborn personality. He's still recovering from the shock and can be pretty easy to agitate these days, so I think it's for the best that you don't mention any of this to him for the time being. I'd hate to see him lose all the motivation to find another job if you said something and he felt like we were all ganging up on him. He's under a lot of pressure right now. Anyway, I figured I should find myself some part-time work until he gets a job offer lined up. Which is why I'm asking you about Bethany today. So, what do you say, Marjorie? Do you think you might be able to help us out? We're kind of in a pinch here. Oh, in that case, of course I'll help, darling. Oh, it's not like me or my husband are especially busy these days. If it's what you and Bethany want, we'll look after her for as long as you need us to. Wow, really? Oh, thank you so much. I'll bring everything she needs with me when I drop her off. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Marjorie, would you mind watching Bethany again for us today? I'm really sorry to message you this early. I wouldn't if there was any other way, I swear. But someone at the convenience store I work at called in sick for their shift at the last minute. And the manager called me on urgent notice and asked me to cover. Oh, sure thing. Oh, not a problem. We don't have any plans today. But is everything okay? Oh, we've been looking after her every day recently. Are you sure you're not being overworked? It's fine. I'm all right. I do get a little sleepy sometimes, but there's nothing a strong cup of coffee won't fix. Thanks for worrying about me, though. You're the best mother-in-law a girl could hope for. But are you sure everything's okay with you two? What exactly is Craig doing? I was sure he'd have found something else by now. How is the job hunt going? Well, you know how hard it can be to find a job these days. The market's a mess and the economy's in the gutter. Apparently it's not going so great. I knew it. Oh, right then, how about I speak to some of our relatives and see if we can't have something arranged for him? I didn't want to get involved, but we can't have the breadwinner being unemployed, especially not when you have a little girl to think about now. You must be very worried. No, I'm not. It's fine, really. Craig's hardworking, experienced, and he has more qualifications than he could fit on a single resume. He'll find something soon, I'm sure of it. Will he really? Oh, besides, I'm not sure it's the best idea for you to get involved. It could be a little inconvenient. Inconvenient? How do you mean? Listen, Marjorie, the thing is, I haven't told Craig you've been looking after Bethany all this time. I've told him I've been leaving her at a daycare center. Huh? But why would you do that? Isn't that lying? Because Craig is adamant he doesn't want you or anyone else in your family to know he lost his job because he's too embarrassed about it. He says he plans on telling you he switched jobs of his own volition when he finds a new one. You know how guys and their pride can be. If he found out I'd been leaving Bethany with you, he'd know I told you about him losing his job. His pride would be wounded, and he'd be angry with me to boot. I can already hear him in my head now. How dare you cause trouble for my mother? Good grief, what is wrong with that boy? You mean to tell me you're having to go to these ridiculous lengths to protect his fragile pride? Oh, that's stubborn, lazy, good-for-nothing layabout. There's something else you should know. He's been drinking an awful lot lately. The strong stuff, too. Vodka, whiskey, gin, you name it, he's drinking it. I don't know if that's why, but his temper is as short as a matchstick these days. I constantly feel like I'm walking around on eggshells, worried I'll say the wrong thing and he'll blow up at me again. So, Marjorie, please, I'm begging you, will you promise not to tell him about any of this? If he finds out I told you he lost his job and that you've been looking after Bethany all this time, I'm not sure what he'll do. I'm sure he'll get a hold of himself once he finds another job. I think the stress is all just a bit too much for him right now. This whole thing will resolve itself before long, I just know it. So please, Marjorie, I'm counting on you. Understood. Oh, this is ultimately something that the two of you need to sort out between yourselves. All right, got it. I'll make sure not to say anything unless I have absolutely no choice. You have my word. Thanks so much. You're the best. All right, I'm counting on you. I'll stop by with Bethany soon. Nora, has Craig still not found a job? It's been a whole 2 months now. How long is this going to continue? It's not that we mind looking after Bethany, but neither me nor my husband are the spring chickens we once were, and you know how energetic that girl can be sometimes. Oh, to tell you the truth, we're struggling to keep up with her. Looking after her every day is proving to be challenging. I really am so sorry. I feel so awful leaving my little girl on my aged in-laws like this. But Craig still hasn't found a job. I feel awful. We're putting a lot of strain on you, huh? No, dear, it's fine. I'm not blaming you or anything. I know it can't be helped, and I don't think for one moment you're doing anything wrong. To the contrary, I can tell how hard you're working. This is my lazy, good-for-nothing son's fault. I'm so sorry we haven't been able to improve things. I know it's dragging on now. But to be completely honest with you, it's actually getting worse. I hate to have to ask you this, I really do, but there's another favor I need to ask of you. A favor? What is it? I know this is going to sound brazen and arrogant, and believe me, I feel awful for even asking. But please, could you lend me some money? Money? Are you two really struggling that badly with your finances? I'd rather you didn't mention this to anyone else, but to tell you the truth... Listen, Marjorie, it's Craig. He got addicted to gambling. What did you just say? Gambling? I'm pretty sure it's due to the mental fatigue and stress from all the job hunting he's been doing lately. But apparently one of his old buddies from high school invited him out for some drinks, followed by a few rounds of poker. He didn't have any money of his own to go with, but at the same time, I'm guessing he felt embarrassed about admitting that to his friend, so he took a huge wad of banknotes from our savings account without my permission. Oh my God! What on earth is he doing? I'll kill him, that silly boy! Right, that's it. This simply will not do. There's nothing else for it. I have to say something to him. No, please don't. It's fine, really. He hasn't been himself lately, and his head's not in a good place right now. I'm sure he'll realize the error of his ways before long if we just give him some time. I'd appreciate if you'd give us some time to get over this trouble as a couple. Please, will you believe in us, Marjorie? As soon as Craig finds a new job, I'll pay you back every last cent of what you lent me. I promise. And as my way of saying thank you, I'll take you and your husband out for a meal. You pick the restaurant. Please. Oh, come on, Nora. I don't need fancy meals out. I just need to know that things are okay for you and my son. But if that's how you want to do things, then I suppose it's not my place to say otherwise. Fine, I'll lend you some money, but only a little. I'll get it ready before you drop Bethany off today. I'll hand it to you when I see you. Thank you so much. Hey, Marjorie. I'm sorry to message you so early. Can you look after Bethany again today? I'll grab that money off you while I'm there too, if you don't mind. Excuse me? Hold on a second, Nora. I already told you I couldn't do today, didn't I? Huh? You did? What was the reason again? I'm going on vacation with the girls from the Senior Citizens Community Group today, and I won't be back until the day after tomorrow. I did tell you I wouldn't be home, right? What? Do you have any idea what kind of a difficult situation this puts me in? I have work today. You have to look after Bethany. Could you cancel your vacation, please? You can't just spring this on me out of nowhere and expect me to cancel. I have had this vacation planned for months now. I can't cancel on the day. So you're telling me your vacation's more important to you than your own granddaughter? I'm serious, Marjorie. If you don't look after her today, I will be in serious trouble. My job could be on the line here. But whose fault do you think it is that I am constantly working like a dog in the first place? Your son's fault, that's who. Well, that's... Anyway, I already left her outside on the front porch. I'm sorry, but I really do have to go now. I'm really counting on you this time, Marjorie. Thanks. What? Nora, no! Wait a second. So, that's what happened. I was sure you turned into a gambling-addicted alcoholic. After losing your job in a corporate restructure, I thought you were forcing your wife to work ungodly hours while taking all of her earnings to fund your whiskey and poker marathons.
Well, this is the first I've heard of any of it. That's the biggest pile of bullcrap I've ever heard in my life. I'm still working in the same old job as always. And Bethany's here at the office with me. I've literally never gambled in my life. Why would you believe such blatant lies?
You're right. Now that I think about it, a lot of what she was telling me didn't make sense, but I suppose I just wanted to trust her, Craig. She is your wife, after all. But the longer it went on, the more brazen her demands became, and before long, she got outright aggressive. I'm sorry, son, I wasn't thinking straight, or rather seeing that girl stood waiting for me outside on the porch like that after making it clear I had plans startled me a little. I had to cancel the vacation I'd been looking forward to for months, and to tell you the truth, it made me angry. And that was when I thought the little girl I'd been looking after all this time was Bethany. Now you're telling me she isn't. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Right. This whole thing has been pretty damn chaotic for you, huh? Hold on tight, okay? I'm gonna have a word with the boss about clocking out early today. I'll be over at your place in a jiffy, alright? Then, I'm gonna get some answers out of my lying wife. You just wait. I'm gonna come down on her like a ton of bricks, I promise you. We'll get to the bottom of whatever's going on here real soon. Nora, what are you doing right now? There's something I need to talk to you about. Is now a good time?
What do you want? I'm a little busy right now. Would you mind waiting till later?
You sure you can afford to put this off? How about I take this kid you've been leaving with my mom to the cops?
Huh?
Ma told me everything. I found out you have a part-time job. I also found out that you work so many hours there you had to keep leaving Bethany with my mom. Back when my company said we could leave Bethany at their in-house kindergarten, and I suggested you look for part-time work to garnish the finances, what with having more free time on your hands, you insisted on carrying on as a stay-at-home housewife, didn't you? You were awfully stubborn, too. So imagine my shock when I find out you've been working a part-time job behind my back for the last few months.
Wait a sec. No, you're wrong. This is all a big misunderstanding.
Which part am I misunderstood about exactly? You need to explain what the hell is going on here, Nora, because it doesn't look good from where I'm standing. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'll be hiring a private investigator to confirm everything for me later, so there's no use lying. If you're honest with me now, maybe there's still a chance, but if you insist on lying, I swear I'll never forgive you.
Fine, I'll tell you everything. Just don't get the police involved. If you do that, his wife will find out.
His wife? Whose wife?
The little girl I've been leaving with your mom. She's my boyfriend's daughter.
What the hell? Your boyfriend's daughter?
I'm so sorry. Listen, Craig, the truth is, I've been cheating on you this whole time.
What? Cheating? On me? What the heck? Since when?
Since about half a year ago when Bethany started her settle-in period at your company's kindergarten. I got really lonely at the house without you or Bethany around. It was around that time I hit it off with a guy I met on social media. We started meeting up a little while back, a coffee here, a meal there. You see, his wife's a career woman and his role is more like the house husband, which meant he normally stayed home and looked after their daughter while she worked. But the kid was nothing but a nuisance whenever we went on dates, so we had to leave her somewhere. That's where your mom came in. I figured she hadn't seen Bethany much lately. And my boyfriend's kid is a girl, plus she and Bethany look kind of similar, so I didn't think she'd notice. Which is why I lied to your mom that my boyfriend's kid was Bethany and asked her to look after her.
What the hell? What in the holy frickin' spirit's name am I even reading?
I lied about having a part-time job too. The truth is, I was out on dates with my boyfriend. His wife got dispatched to Seattle on a super short-notice business trip today. So he was all on his own since first thing this morning. He offered to take me out for a drive, and that's why I was in such a rush.
So that's why you were so desperate to dump that random kid on my mom's doorstep. To go out driving with your lover. Then the truth finally came out when my mom reached her wit's end and messaged me demanding an explanation. You disgust me more than words can express. Did you seriously think you could get away with this forever? You're lucky you were able to pull the wool over our eyes for as long as you did with a lie this bare-faced. I guess we share some responsibility for letting you fool us for 3 whole months, too. Anyway, let me get this straight. By the time I suggested you started looking for work back then, you already cheated on me?
Yes, the money I borrowed from your mom, it was so I could keep going out on dates with my boyfriend.
You're the worst. Despicable. Filth in human form. I can't believe this. You left your boyfriend's kid with my mom so you could cheat on me.
But I told you, Craig, I was lonely. What did you expect? You left me home alone all the time, but a woman has needs, Craig. Needs. Besides, I didn't feel confident I could find a job. I have a big gap in my resume from these years spent looking after Bethany. And I never was much of a people person anyway. You could never understand what I was going through. But my boyfriend was different because he understood me. He understood everything. Do you have any idea how hard I've been working on keeping on top of things at home and raising Bethany all this time? Surely the least I deserve is a little break to let my hair down every now and then. Anyway, what's the problem? Your mom got to play with her granddaughter, didn't she? She loved having her. You should be grateful. It's not like I was causing anyone any trouble.
You have the nerve to get angry with me. And please, how is this not causing trouble for my mom? Do you have any idea how angry she is with you? She didn't get to play with her granddaughter. She got to play with your boyfriend's kid while you were out getting piped.
Well, if she's angry, maybe she shouldn't have unquestioningly agreed to look after her every time I asked her all this time. You can hardly blame me if I took her for granted a little. Not only that, but she gave me money whenever I asked for it. If your mom knew how to say no, none of this would have happened. Your mom made me this way. I mean, seriously, who forgets what their own granddaughter looks like? Sure, you could make the case that I'm partially at fault here, but there's no way I'm the only one in the wrong.
I've heard enough of this crap. Don't bother coming home.
Huh?
You're out driving with Loverboy at the minute, right? Well, don't bother coming home. We're getting a divorce.
What? No, please don't do this. I'm begging you, baby. Can't we just talk this through like mature, responsible adults before making hasty decisions in the heat of the moment? Don't throw away what we have. I don't want a divorce.
I don't care what you want. I can't stay with someone like you. I'll never be able to trust another word that comes out of your mouth.
Jesus, Craig, all I did was cheat on you once. It's hardly the end of the world. Surely you can forgive me this one time. Bethany's still a baby. She needs both of her parents. Divorce will ruin her childhood. How could you be so selfish?
Yeah, you're right. Bethany does need both of her parents, which is why nothing you're saying right now makes any sense. You got some nerve to play the doting parent card when you spent the last 3 months gallivanting around and eating at fancy restaurants with your boyfriend, using the money in the savings account we set up for Bethany's college fund.
Well, that was,
That money was supposed to be for our daughter's future. That money was there to ensure that she had the best shot in life we could possibly give her. But you spent all of it behind my back. You know, I kinda had a bad feeling when I was on my way to my mom's place after she messaged me. So I checked on the savings account. I could barely believe what I was seeing. I saw you'd been withdrawing it in huge chunks ever since around the time your affair started. Now, our daughter's future fund contains a grand total of $3.
no, that was,
I did wonder what the hell you could have been spending it on, but I never thought it would be an affair. You know, I think I would have preferred if you'd been using it to buy expensive branded bags or accessories or anything but that. It's the betrayal that stings the most. I can't believe you spent the money we were saving up on our daughter's future to fool around with your lover. You have no right to call yourself a mother.
No, wait, you've got this all wrong, I swear. Please, won't you just hear me out?
There's no value in listening to a word you have to say. Me and Bethany won't be coming back to the house for a little while. You know where my mom lives, so we won't be going there either. There's no point in looking for us, so don't bother. If you have anything else to say to me, it goes through my lawyer. Do I make myself clear?
Please, wait, I'm begging you. Craig, please, I'm serious. Wait, I can't bear to lose you.
Ask your boyfriend's kid. My dad took it to the nearest police station 2 hours ago. Apparently her mom's already on the way out to collect her.
Oh my god, what?
Looks like your life's about to get seriously rough, Nora. Anyway, I have nothing more to say to you. This conversation is over. All communications go through my lawyer from now on. If you message me, I'll block you. Goodbye. After that, I rented a weekly apartment for me and Bethany to stay in while we got back on our feet. Predictably, Nora attempted to launch an assault on my mom's house, but like I already told her, we weren't there. Given how furious my mom and dad were with her, showing up at their house wasn't the smartest move. My dad stormed outside, exploded in anger with the rage of 1,000 suns, and promptly sent her on her way. A crumpled, dispirited mess. A few days later, we all sat down with our lawyers to hash things out. Both Nora and her boyfriend ended up being charged massive sums in compensation and child support by both me and her boyfriend's wife. As for custody of Bethany, I won it, after a short legal battle in court. After that, Nora and her boyfriend moved into a cheap apartment in the rough part of town. Last I heard, They're both juggling several jobs in a desperate attempt to come up with crazy amounts of compensation they owe us. According to the neighbors, their apartment is a constant war zone. I guess the stress of having no choice but to work several jobs they hate has them constantly at each other's throats. I was getting messages begging for help every day. Of course I blocked her. Can you believe she palmed someone else's kid off onto my mom while she was out cheating on me? I swear, you couldn't make it up. Hopefully, she uses this as an opportunity to self-reflect and become a better person. Oh, and to pay me my compensation, of course. As for my family, we all moved house to permanently eliminate the risk of Nora ever showing up on our doorsteps again. I don't know whether it was due to the upheaval, but Bethany did seem a little stressed for a while. Thankfully, she's back to her bubbly old self now. My daughter is my #1 priority, and I'll do whatever I can to make her happy. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time.